I have to say, when I first saw the photos of Heather Graham in Tulum, I honestly had to do a double take. At 56, she looked completely at ease, glowing, confident, and totally in her element. There she was on the beaches of Tulum, wrapped in sunshine, wearing a simple white string bikini, her long blonde hair falling down her back like something out of a postcard. And I was thinking, this isn't just a vacation moment. This feels like a new chapter. By her side was Italian director Michele Tivetta, and the chemistry between them seemed effortless. He even shared glimpses of their getaway on Instagram. One shot of Heather stretched out on the sand, arms lifted above her head, captioned, "Mermaid in the Sea." I don't know about you, but that caption alone felt like he's completely enchanted. Another photo showed the two of them tucked under a palm tree, her arms wrapped around him with the words, "Sunstruck, Mexico." To me, it didn't look staged or performative, it looked easy, natural, real. What makes this more interesting, I think, is Heather's history when it comes to relationships. The last time she was publicly linked to someone was with snowboarder John de Neuville. They were last seen together in 2022, and by 2024, he had quietly disappeared from her social media. No drama, no spectacle, just a soft fade-out, which, honestly, feels very on-brand for her. Heather has always struck me as someone who values perspective. I remember reading her interview with People where she talked about wanting to date someone outside of Hollywood. She said that while it's helpful for a partner to understand the chaos of an acting schedule, she actually prefers someone who isn't in the business. And I get that. When your whole world revolves around movie sets, premieres, and scripts, I think it probably feels grounding to come home to someone who sees life beyond the spotlight. She even said it puts everything into perspective, reminding her that life isn't just about the movie business. And maybe that's why this pairing feels different. Michelle is a director, yes, known for films like The Executrix and The Gateway, but he seems to live a quieter, more international life. There's something understated about him. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels less Hollywood machine and more creative soul. Another thing that's always fascinated me about Heather is how openly she's spoken about choosing not to have children. That's still such a loaded topic, especially for women in the public eye. She's said she doesn't feel like she's missing anything, and I think that kind of clarity is powerful. She's even joked that not having kids means she gets a lot of sleep, which honestly made me laugh. But beyond the humor, there's conviction there. She's talked about pouring that nurturing energy into her projects, producing, writing, directing, almost like those creative works become her little kids. And I think that says a lot about where she is in life. She doesn't seem to be chasing validation anymore. She seems settled in her own choices. As for Michelle, his life has had its own chapters. He shares a son, Nicola, with actress Asia Argento. They were married in Italy in 2008 and separated in 2013. From what he posts, he appears to be a proud father, recently celebrating his son's birthday with a heartfelt message online. That tells me he values family deeply, even if his path looks different now. So when I look at these beach photos, the sunlight, the laughter, the unguarded body language, I don't just see a celebrity romance headline. I see two adults who've lived, loved, separated, grown, and maybe found something peaceful in each other. Of course, Hollywood relationships can be unpredictable. I might be right, I might be wrong. But to me, this doesn't look like a fling built on flashbulbs. It looks like companionship. And sometimes, especially in a town built on illusion, that might be the most refreshing plot twist of all.